Hello, my name is Marla. I am so happy to be here today. I am just going to share this video out if I can. Oh, I don't want to put a mask on it. Oh, maybe I can't share it out. Well, maybe I'm not going to share it out, but anyway, I am so excited to be here today. I shared on my Insta stories I was going to come on and do a live because I was talking about emotional freedom technique or tapping, which is something I absolutely love. I love it so much. I live it, I breathe it, I do it every single day. I'm an EFT practitioner. It's just something that's really valuable to me and has really supported my growth journey and healing journey and all those good things. So I wanted to share a story today of how tapping has really helped me, something it has done that really supported me, and it's really cool actually, because so I was under the impression many years ago I went to a workshop and I was told that we always have a fight, flight, freeze response, and it was one thing. You just have one response for your whole life. And so I thought mine was freeze because I would often freeze in situations. Now, the fight, flight, freeze response is where when your body goes into stress and either you fight or you run away or you freeze. And it was really useful when we were being chased by, lions and out in the wild and all that kind of thing. Because going into that stress response would mean that we'd act really quickly, but now we go into that response by triggering past memories. We spend 95% of our time in our subconscious mind, and we don't necessarily need to be responding in that way. So I would have this freeze response, and I thought it was really normal. So I remember I used to live in California, in San Diego, OB, actually, by the beach, a little really gorgeous little community. And I was on the pier in OB one day with my mate, and he and I were just walking along. Now, this pier had these massive seagulls. They were giant and they were terrifying. Like, they were really big, and I'm not a massive bird lover, just not my favourite type of animal. My son, on the other hand, he loves them, but me not so much. So anyway, they were flying above and they were huge. And we're walking along on the pier, and I saw one flying over my head, and I froze, and I knew what was going to happen. I could feel that it was about to shit on me. Excuse my language, I do swear sometimes, so there we go. And I knew this was going to happen, and I saw it unfold in slow-mo. It was like something out of a movie. I was just stuck, and it was giant, landed straight on my head, all over me. It was really funny. My mate was laughing at me. He thought it was hilarious, and at the time I did too, but I was kind of embarrassed. It was kind of awkward. So I had this freeze response. So I thought that was my response. Although I had this incident, actually after this, I had an incident where I was mugged in Australia, and I came back from the US. I'd lived over there for a while. I came back and I was mugged by this girl. And she stole money from me, and I chased her. I really bolted after her and tried to find her. I couldn't. She was obviously faster than me, and I lost a lot of money. Silly me for carrying it around, but that's not the point. So I was confused by that. But then fast forward several years, and I had my son and then my daughter, and whenever they're babies and they're eating, and sometimes they would choke on their food, and you jump in and you get it out, that kind of thing. I would freeze, and my partner would be at home with me, and they'd choke, and I would freeze, and my partner would jump in and he'd get really frustrated with me. Fair enough. It was quite a dangerous situation, but luckily my partner was always there, and it only ever happen when he was around, and he could jump in. And so when I was doing my tapping training, this was really, really curious to me, because I said to her, I was like, I know like you have just this one response for life, kind of, and I freeze. And my mentor said, no, you don't. It changes depending on the situation. The fact that you freeze is very, very interesting. And there's obviously something there. So we tapped on this, and we spent I had a lot of mentoring sessions with her as I was going through my practitioner training, and this particular call was a few hours or something, and we had an hour where we just sat down and went through this response that I was having, this freeze response, and we tapped on it for about an hour, and what came up from this tapping was that I was freezing in situations when men were around. And that's why I had chased the girl that had mugged me, because she wasn't a man. And it came up that there was trauma that I had experienced in the past with men, and that was why I was freezing. So interesting. There's no way I would have just figured that out. And we tapped on it. And after tapping for an hour, I immediately, I was feeling really heavy. I was feeling it in my shoulders, all this tension, all this weight. And we tapped on it for an hour, and it shifted. It just lifted. It was so incredible. And so I was like, wow, that it was amazing, because it was something pretty significant. And I thought it would go on, and it didn't. And so then, but I hadn't tested it out. And I was not hoping that I would be in a situation where that would happen or anything, of course, but I was really curious to see if it had actually changed my response, because, it's all well and good saying, oh yeah, it worked, I feel really good now, it's cleared, I'm not affected by that trauma, it's not a trigger for me anymore. And then a couple of weeks later, my baby was eating, and she choked on some food, and my partner was there, and I ran in and I jumped in and I helped her. So I can unequivocally say that tapping works on your subconscious. It reprograms your subconscious, and it can clear past trauma. It can clear and heal blocks that can be really, really really embedded, because there's lots of layers, like pieces of paper. You pull one out, and it's like you peel off an emotion and a trauma and an experience, but there's always something else, and this got in there and it really cleared it out. And that is why I love tapping so much. It's such a big part of what I do. I bring it into my coaching, I bring it into my trainings, I do lives. I'm definitely going to come on here. I think I will come on, time allowing, I will be on tomorrow to do a live tapping. So if you'd like to join me, you can join me on here for a tapping video, a live training where I will take you through a round of tapping or two. And the other thing that I do is I have the Magnetic Self membership. It's brand spanking new. I'm so excited about it. And tapping is a really core part of this. So if you want support tapping, if you want regular tapping videos, if you want me to personalize tapping for you within the membership, I will be making sure that I will be covering tapping that really works on things that are personal to people in the community. And really supportive, because I know the benefits, I've experienced them, I've seen the shifts. So if that interests you, then head on to the link and jump in and register. It is so amazing. It's just launched, so it's all brand new, but it will be tapping, circles, coaching, loads of great things. But tapping is definitely one of my favorite things, and it absolutely can be such a support, whether you are working on healing past trauma, or whether you're tapping into your potential, because you can tap on positive things and make them a part of who you are. So really exciting. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I will be back tomorrow for a little tapping video. All my love. Mwah. Bye.